What does it mean to say, I am? Is consciousness an accident of biology? Or is it the fabric of the universe? On Spinning the Light, we bridge the gap between ancient wisdom and modern inquiry. We're stripping away the illusions of the ego to find the radiant core of human existence. Join us, your hosts, Christy and Sharon, as we unravel the mysteries of the mind and illuminate the true nature of being. This is Spinning the Light.
Hello, 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 and welcome once again.
Here we are, back again.
Oh yeah, loving it. Great day, or I think it is anyway, you know.
Yeah.
But what makes it a great day?
Noticing.
Very good. I agree. We have to pay attention. Paying attention, I think, is super important.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's going to tie right into what we're going to talk about today.
There's
A little bit.
a lot going on. A lot of things to pay attention to.
Isn't there, though?
But we've talked about the brain and our behaviors and all of those kind of things. And we were just talking about there's so much going on in our society. We're living in a time of transition.
Ooh.
Aren't we? I mean, I think people can feel it. And sometimes we're at a loss as to exactly what that means.
You know, it's really interesting because I've had a lot of people say, I feel something, there's something going on. I don't know what it is. And it's causing like a dysregulation or something. And I think that's what we're talking about. There's a lot going on.
For sure. So we came across an article, and this is put on by Collective Evolution, is written by Gabrielle Feather, and it's called 100 Things to Do Now That You Are Collapse Aware. And they refer to this change in our society as a collapse. And I think there's a good reason for that. Because after all, it feels like sometimes it's the end of the world as we know it. REM, 1987.
That is such a great, I love that song. And of course, it's on Independence Day and stuff like that. But it's that change. It's talking about sometimes something has to collapse in order for us to build something new.
Yeah. The world is changing, and we have the ability to choose how we face these changes or not. We can either recoil and allow ourselves to be filled with grief and outrage, or become totally numb. Or we can also allow ourselves to see the resilience and the possibilities that can occur once these blinders have been removed. And I really feel like that we are in that state right now where that it feels like a lot of blinders are coming off.
Well, I think it goes along with the fact that when we remove those blinders, we see our light. Mm-hmm. It is our light I feel is always just pushing to come out. Mm-hmm. It's always fighting to be recognized, to be seen, to be heard, you know.
Well, I think the blinders coming off are really, it's an awakening to a lot of the things that have been going on for many, many years that we've just accepted, and it's just been kind of shoved under the rug. And now we're coming to new realizations about our society and our contributions to it.
You know what I think? I always feel it's like when they put the lobster in or you know, when they bring the water to a boil and the frog doesn't know that it's being boiled.
Yeah, slowly.
And that's, I think, what it's been. It's been this slow infiltration of this energy. And people are now becoming aware because they're feeling it. They're not liking the way it feels. Mm-hmm. So with that infiltration, now it's, what do we do differently?
Yeah. So what does it mean for us as we go about living our daily lives? This article talks about how we choose to live from here. It's a collection of gestures and practices for those who are awake to the era that we inhabit. The first one is body and nervous system.
We've talked a lot about the body and the nervous system. What is it? How do we identify it? Everybody feels it in different places. Some people get stomach aches. Some people, it's that tightening of the shoulders and neck aches and headaches. And we'll find an ache somewhere.
Yes. Yes, that's what the article talks about. The tight shoulders, sleepless nights, clenched jaw, shallow breath, sudden fight or flight, spirals are all natural responses in these situations.
And, those are those things that are happening internally to us. But, the other thing is that if something's happening internally, guess what? It's going to manifest externally.
Yeah.
So we have problems with relationships. We have problems with jobs. We will encounter these things. We run into these walls as we're trying to navigate, why is this happening? And because it's starting internally, if I can't identify the internal thing, then maybe what I have to do is look at what's happening externally.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really feel like, just the things, the feeling that we're having, there is an energetic event taking place.
Oh, 100%.
And I think that people are feeling it, whether they're really conscious of what's happening or not. They're feeling this, and it's almost an unrest, and you almost feel like, what can I do? What
Mhm.
can I do? I feel like I need to be doing something.
Once again, I think it's that internal light of ours, that internal energy that's wanting to connect with those other energies that are about riding this weird shift we're in.
Yeah, exactly. Before we can reimagine the world, we must learn to inhabit ourselves with patience and compassion. And we've talked about that in previous episodes as well.
It's amazing to me how it is so hard for people to show themselves a little bit of grace.
Mm-hmm.
And if I learned the capacity to show myself grace, then guess what? I can show other people grace.
Yes, and that's powerful because people need that.
I'm going to talk about this, and we don't get political, and this isn't political, but Senator Lindsey Graham passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you like him or you hate him or whatever it is, he matters to somebody. He's a father, he's a grandfather, he's a son, he's this, he's that. But we start to identify with an ideology that somebody has. And I get it. Sometimes those ideologies impact people in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's that lack of compassion that we have for human life. And if I can't have that compassion, how do I expect that other person to have it? This is something that has to expand out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a dig on anybody who, I don't know what people are saying. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
Because he just happens to be a public figure. It can be anybody. Bonnie Tyler just passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Bonnie Tyler. I loved her music. But there are probably people that are like, oh, I hated her music, blah, 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 where, the world's better, doesn't lose any, whatever that is. But it starts even on those things, those tiny thoughts that we have about other people, or we're going to get into being in touch with nature and stuff like that. But that is the same thing.
Yes. That compassion comes from in here. Realize there's people in their life that didn't know them the way that you know them through those same channels. They were important to them for many other reasons.
Well, even when we think on our own small scale, there are people who don't like us.
Right.
They really don't, for whatever reason. That is everybody's choice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we can still show compassion and kindness for others. So one of the things that you can do, and we've talked about this, take a moment, notice your breath, allow yourself to be guided by it rather than attempt to control it.
I feel like that's sometimes where people get confused. And I think even early on when I was learning breath work, that was, it's almost like you have this compulsion to control where it's supposed to go, or what thoughts I'm supposed to have, or all that. And it becomes a practice to really let the breath guide you.
Yes.
You have to learn it. You have to be patient with yourself to do it.
Yep. Another way to create this: walk barefoot on the earth and remember your animal nature.
Do you walk barefoot?
No, I have thought about that. The only place I do is on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because I don't usually see bugs there.
Oh, absolutely. There are no bugs on the beach.
No, I don't see any bugs on the beach. Crabs are a different thing.
But isn't it funny that these other thoughts come into play of why I'm not going to do something? I am afraid there's going to be a bug, and that bug is going to find me, or yeah.
But I really do want to work on that. I really feel like that grounding is important. And I know they say about doing that, remove your shoes, put them right on the ground.
You know what's interesting? I really do feel this. And, growing up, we would always be barefoot and stuff. If you do it and you pay attention, you can feel the vibration. You can feel Earth. You can feel her.
That takes, I think, some practice in quieting the mind, because I know a lot of people would be, completely wrapped up in their thoughts and thinking, whatever, this is, But yeah, it can be that, or it can be something meaningful when you really pause and pay attention to your breath and that.
We love trees. By God, we love trees. And I think one of the things about trees is they've been around so long. Think of all the things that a tree has experienced.
Yeah.
What it's seen, hundreds of years. Look at the sequoias. The earth changing and people changing around it and all of these things. And there's a knowledge in that, in a relationship. People might be saying, oh, that's some wackadoo stuff.
They might, but they know, they have seen that trees communicate.
Remember, for people, I am part Native American.
Yeah.
And there's that Native piece that says we are connected. We are one. We are.
And I don't think you have to be Native American to realize that.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But one of the things is not just walk on the ground. Go and actually put your hands on a tree and just don't think. Shut the thoughts down and just feel.
Yeah.
And you will feel that life.
First, make sure there's no termites or ants or spiders, and then touch the tree. That's what I do. Let me inspect it first. But I do love trees.
Nothing like trees. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Learn the language of your nervous system. Notice the difference between urgency and anxiety, numbing and deep rest. I think a lot of times we're not paying attention to our body, and we've talked about the physiological responses of our body in certain situations.
Once again, it's my client who was saying, oh man, my heart was palpitating. I says, you have that fancy smancy watch? I said, look, what is your watch saying when that's happening? And he said, oh my God. He says, my heart rate was fine. He goes, and it was like learning the power of the brain. And now I said, now you can identify those differences because they feel different. So learn your body. What is it doing? What are the messages it's giving you?
Yeah. Introduce a daily walk or simply spend time outside. Let sunlight, air, and open sky recalibrate your system. There's a lot of people not doing that. That's one of the things I absolutely love about hiking.
Oh, yeah. And even when you go on a hike, it's important. The physical piece is important. But we stop and we'll look. Oh, look, there's moss growing. When we were in Menacing Falls, and we heard it had great hiking and that. So we drove up there from Illinois, because who doesn't do that, to see Menacing Falls. And oh my gosh, we're there like, oh my God, we stop. We look at the moss. We really are engaging in what that whole process is.
Yeah.
But we had to learn this. Some I think is natural to us, but I think sometimes we're learning as we go. And, just that appreciation, same thing when we're in Yellowstone, just those magical moments you can have when you just
slow down.
Yes.
Yeah. So consciously pause and check your capacity and intention before reading the news or other media, including Substack, which I don't do, but consider whether you need to do this at all.
One of the things is one of the practices that people can really incorporate is a lot of people, first thing what they do when they get up is they get their phone and they look at what's going on. They're looking at the news. Some maybe for their job they have to. But if you don't, sometimes it's like wake up, pause, just take time. Even start with 15 minutes and then try to expand out to 30 minutes of none of that. Just be present. Don't fill your mind with that right away.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you do, it starts that process and oh lordy.
Overwhelming,
Hmm.
daunting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Build physical strength as a form of preparedness, capability, and mental fortitude. I like that one because I feel like it encourages me to, whether it's get my steps or whatever it is, just to make a healthy choice for me.
Yes, and sometimes I think when once again, when we stop separating us out as these different entities and realize we're a whole, we're the whole. We
Mm-hmm.
are the sum of the parts.
Yeah.
We are a whole. And how important that is, because think about when you talk to people, or even like with you, you really didn't think you could ever be strong.
Yeah.
And now she lifts weights and does things like that. And it changes it changes that confidence level.
Mm-hmm. And, when that becomes the focus, it's not so much about, I think a lot of times people are so focused on I want to lose weight to look better or whatever like that. But man, when you focus on what it's doing for you intrinsically, you're getting stronger and it's a really good, wonderful feeling.
And sometimes when we build our body, our mind becomes confident as well. Once again, because it's one unit.
Exactly. You'll hear or read, exercise and things like that is really good for mental, just to be healthier overall. You have a healthier outlook, period. And that's what these are, just specific steps, things that you can place your focus on, where you're not just so overwhelmed by all the stuff that's going on.
Mhm.
So immerse yourself in cold water and let your body practice resilience through the elements. That's something, yeah. We've gone and done some like spa treatments, and they do that kind of thing where that you're in the hot water and then you go and do a cold plunge, and that took some mental talking to to make myself go and try that out. But actually now I really like it.
Well, and the other thing is that because of our hair color, we wash our hair in cold water anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been really helpful.
Yeah, that's been toughing us up. So another thing you can do is create an evening ritual that communicates safety and rest. Think candlelight, herbal tea, pajamas, screen off.
That is a huge one.
I think a lot of times we don't do that as much, especially the screen off thing. People are used to falling asleep to it and everything.
Some screens on. It doesn't matter what it is. And I think that when you can create that thing, and we work on that, sometimes we do better than other times, but really taking that time, even to address the positives of the day. We do end our day with gratitude, though.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a ritual that we have. I don't even call it a ritual, it's just our way of life now. We end our day with gratitude and we start our day with gratitude. But I think it's that thing of getting in those. And I think that's something that's on my list of things to do is to really work and have no electronics for 20 to 30 minutes before I get ready to go to sleep because it makes a difference. It sets the stage. And sometimes it's having that conversation, even, or engaging, or feeling love and acceptance, or whatever that is. When you're doing stuff, your brain doesn't shut down. And then we wonder why so many people are having trouble sleeping.
Yeah, for sure. When destabilizing emotions arise, try tapping EFT or humming gently. The vibration soothes the vagus nerve and can really take the edge off.
That's why, oh, if you do that, you'll feel the vibration. Just practice it. Just do And what you're going to find is it's hard to have a thought. Tapping is you just use two fingers. Okay. And you can Google that or whatever, but you do them on different parts of your body. You use two hands. But the tapping does the same thing. It's kind of like a real quick reset, similar to when we're talking about deep breathing and things like that.
Yeah.
But you can do it anywhere.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you should do it in the middle of a meeting.
I was going to say, I don't know. You might look a little nervous there.
I don't know how well that would go. Your boss is talking to you and you're there like, no, yeah, I'm listening. It's a little light tap, you know.
Mm. Honor sleep as essential. A rested body is a foundation for everything else.
It is amazing to me how many people talk about not being able to sleep.
Yeah.
In order to be able to sleep, you have got to be willing to change your patterns. But we buy into this thing of, well, that's just the way I do. I always have to fall asleep with the TV on. I always have to fall asleep to the radio, or I always have to. We condition ourselves in this fashion.
Yes. And then perpetuate it. If we are implementing some of these things that we just talked about previously, eventually you can get to a place where that sleep is not so elusive.
I understand our sleep patterns are created oftentimes by circumstances too.
Yeah.
But once that circumstance is created, we have to figure out how do we uncreate that, because you didn't start out with that. It is not innate to you.
Right. And there's ways to build new pattern.
And this is what I'll often hear, because believe it or not, several of my clients have trouble sleeping. A lot of them have PTSD. So that's one of the symptoms of that.
Yeah.
And they'll be there. Well, I tried it, didn't work. Do you think you stopped sleeping with one time? No. It was conditioned into you. And I get it. You have to be aware of what's going on. Sometimes you have 24 hours where you got to be up. All of these things. When I used to work a swing. So I used to go in like say at 3:30 and I wouldn't get off until, or later at 5:30, and I wouldn't get off till like say 1 or 2, or when by the time I would finish and get home and all that. I did that for a long time. So your body gets into a pattern.
Exactly. And we're not saying that these aren't a stubborn kind of issue that can happen, that has been built over time.
Mine was stubborn.
But I do think, well, it's stubborn, in dealing with it.
Well, yeah, because you're right.
It's like you do have to realize the areas where that you are still contributing to the pattern.
I did come to that conclusion because I would be there now, even when I wasn't working, I'd be there like, what am I going to do until that time? And even when I stopped working those shifts, my body still wanted to do that because we condition it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, no, normal people go to bed at normal times. They don't go to bed at 3:30 in the morning or whatever time it is. Yeah. So I had to gradually start moving that time back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also had to understand when I was sleepy, I had to sleep. People will sit there and say, well, I'm not going to go to sleep now because I'm going to wait till later. Well, guess what? Because you've already conditioned yourself not to sleep at 10 o'clock. Do you think your body's just going to sleep at 10? The answer is no. Mm. So this one is so big.
It is.
Because we have more people on sleep aids.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it's melatonin. Melatonin is what we create in our body. But it has a window of time that it does this, okay? So when I pass that window, it's not going to go recreate it for me or whatever. I have to get in that system. So they're like, well, okay, I started with three milligrams, so I'm going to go up to 10 and, or whatever. You just keep going up. But the thing is it's not really, you're not getting restful sleep. Mm-hmm. So I don't hear any of my clients say, oh, I'm getting restful sleep. And not just clients, we have friends and family or whoever, they don't sleep well for whatever reason. But it's, how do I do that? How do I find that rhythm and that pattern? Mm-hmm. When you were little, because you don't take naps.
No, I don't like naps.
Why is that?
I don't like how I feel when I wake up from them. I don't feel rested. I feel out of sorts. I feel like I don't know. I don't like it.
My mom used to crack me up because she used to say she could take a 15-minute power nap. I'm serious. And she would wake up all energetic and everything. Don't wake her up though. That was a bad idea. We learned that real early. But power naps, she could do. I had a coworker, he would do the same thing. He'd go park his car, take a 15-minute power nap, and he was like good. It was like a whole new person. I'm there like, how do y'all do that?
Oh man, no, I couldn't do that. I almost feel like that I've been drugged or something if I take a nap in the day and I wake up and I'm like, I feel all groggy in that.
But were you one of those kids who also thought, oh my God, if I take a nap, I'm going to miss something?
Well, I don't remember consciously having that thought. I don't even remember taking naps when I was a kid, but I'm sure I did. I don't know. I just now as an adult, I don't feel like it is a reset for me.
And for me, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I mean, I normally don't nap anyway. But yeah, some people, it's like, oh my God, why would I nap? I'm going to miss something.
I don't feel that way. I just feel like I wake up more tired.
She does not work well for her at all.
No.
But these are the things that we're talking about. And sometimes, if it means you have to take a nap, take a nap.
Yeah. If you're the
Sleep
kind of
is our
person that
friend.
helps you, do it.
But sleep is our friend. We need it. When we sleep, we are repairing. Sleep is our repair.
Yes.
And if you start anything, just start working on the sleep thing.
Yeah.
Just do your best to just turn stuff off. Or when you feel that sleepy, and I'll tell her, because I have a window, and I'll tell, and stop talking. I'm in my window.
Yeah.
Because I do. If I'm in that window, I fall asleep. It's where my melatonin is. I know that. So I'll fall asleep. But if I wake up in that, then it will keep me awake. And then I've had to really work on that, to just sit. I lay back down. I start meditating. I start shutting things down. And then that's a little bit more helpful for me. But that's something I've had to really work on, because seriously, when it would happen, when we were first together, she would start talking or do something, and I would be like, and then she's sound asleep. And here I am, 1 o'clock, looking around.
Yeah.
But you learn those things. But I didn't just sit there and say, oh, well, this is what it's going to be. I actually consciously started to work on that, to say, what can I do differently?
It's a practice, definitely, that's built over time.
The things we talked about today, maybe just pick one thing. Start learning the names of birds or flowers or trees or any of those things.
So we have some of that kind of stuff that's coming up in the next one, and we hope that you will tune in for that.
Well, and also, go put your feet in the dirt. Of course, make sure you're looking for bugs, because you don't want any of that. But I'm going to this is a funny story. I have never met anybody who, putting a shoe on, stepping down, will come across more bugs than her. And when you hear her scream, oh, she put a shoe.
Throw my shoe across the room. There's a bug in there. I'm really grateful that hasn't happened as much anymore. It's been a while.
No, because I'm telling you, when it comes to bugs in her, she don't care if it's a dangerous situation or not.
Yeah.
Maybe you should learn more about bugs.
No, thank you. I think they should just stay outside in their elements, and yeah.
But if you're standing on Earth, it's their element.
Like I said, I got to find a patch that ain't crawling.
So anyway, if you can get past your fear, no.
Yeah.
No, it really is. Go explore nature, take that time, touch trees, look at their leaves, learn their anything, just change up something. And the other thing is to start a new practice is what it's called. And it's called practice for a reason.
We talk about that all the time. These are muscles that we build over time, because at first, yes, it feels uncomfortable or awkward, or it's just not what we're used to. And so we don't want to do it. We resist it.
But isn't it funny? If I want to build muscle, I will be dedicated. I will go, I will work out every day and do all my stuff. But yet when we're talking about changing these pieces of us, this mental piece that we are not seeing in the same way, it's one and done sometimes. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And if we would just continue on, just maintain that consistency, even if it's small steps, even if you only take one thing from the list.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Just take one baby step and practice that and see what it feels like. And if that doesn't resonate, then do another one. And, oh, this works for me, or this works for me.
Yeah. But give it enough time. Keep trying. Keep going.
Keep practicing.
Yes. So thank you so much. You can find us on any social media, Facebook, Instagram.
YouTube, we're Worlds of Wonder, where the inner world meets the outer world, and we include a lot of our travels. Sharon does a little spot on there called Sip and Savor if you like mixology.
I do.
We enjoy those. And you can obviously go to our website at spinningthelightpodcast.com. You can subscribe on there and you'll get an email anytime we release a new episode. We would love for you to do that. If there's something you hear that resonates with you, send us a message. Connect at spinningthelight.com. You can email us. We would love to hear from you.
And, if you're taking the time to, because we put little reels on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and all of those, if you're taking the time to glance at it, take a moment, follow, things like that. We all know how this works in this day and age. We talked about the world is changing.
Yes.
And we're trying to adapt to it and do what we have to do. And we appreciate that. We're grateful for the going out and liking those things and subscribing, because in this world of electronics, numbers matter. in that ugly word algorithm, no.
Yeah. But we do hope that the messages that we put out resonate with others. And so if you hear something and you want to share it with people that maybe it helps them.
I talk about that often on Noon Vibe, and I just did a talk prior to us getting on here, is even if it's not our podcast, if it's somebody else's podcast, whatever it is, wherever you find that is going to help you with whatever's going on, find that tribe, find that group, find those connections. And that's all we're talking about here is connecting, because when we're talking about spinning the light, we don't care where you find the ability to spin that light, to find that internal light that we're all born with. Just spin your light.
Share it with others.
And share it exactly. As soon as you find it and you can spin it, share it with others. Let's light up this world with love and compassion and all those things that are really important to us.
Yeah. So thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.